Okay, we're going to call to order the January 26, 2022 meeting of the Fall River Redevelopment Authority. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recording or transmission are being made whether perceived or unperceived by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. We're going to take a roll call. John Erickson here.
Joan Medeiros here.
Louis Gonzalez here.
Dan Keene here.
Okay, also joining are Sarah Page, our director, John Coughlin, counsel, and Kenny Fiola, our consultant. First thing on the agenda is approval of our open session meeting minutes from December 14th, 2021 and December 22nd, 2021. Do I hear a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve minutes from December 14th and December 22nd, 2021.
I second that.
Second by Louis. You don't need a roll call, right?
No.
Next thing on our list is approval of the the warrant. We've got 18 disbursements. I believe you all have copies of them. Ann, you have it? Yeah.
Although what Ann would not have are these 3 additions. So, because Paula was out all last week, I didn't see the bill from John Coughlin's office, which is $4,551.50. There's a change in the South Coast Chamber. It said $60 and it's actually $65. And then the Churchy appraisal of the solar voltaic, the photovoltaic system came in, and so his $2,500 bill is on here, which makes the total $506,539.21.
So I need a motion to approve the warrant.
Motion to approve the warrant as updated and presented.
Second?
I second that.
Second by Louis. Okay.
Need a vote.
John Erickson, yes.
Joan Medeiros, yes.
Louis Gonzalez, yes.
Dan Keene, yes.
Unanimous. Next item is the city pier. We've been talking about the benches and the bicycle hitches and the water meter enclosures and the Mass DOT right away. Sarah, you said you were there today just for a minor item with Beta.
Oh, I was out today on the pier because Beta had to measure between the boardwalk and the concrete walkway because there's a gap and they need to design a little ramp that joins them, and so they sent someone out and I had to unlock the gate so that she could go measuring. So I had a lovely morning walk out on our beautiful pier. So let me go over this benches and bicycle hitches. So we had a very traditional bench spec'd in our original contract documents, and Johnny, Ann, and I had always talked about trying to get a bench that looked more contemporary and really matched with the railing and the light poles. So we found a really nice bench that is going to replace the one that was originally spec'd. The beautiful thing is that they don't think it will cost any more, and they're going to match the color of the bench with the light pole color, and the bicycle hitches will also match. So we'll have that kind of gray, dark gray on the benches and the light poles, and we think we have a really good aesthetic match, and we're really happy about it. So I was afraid it was going to cost more, and I was going to have to ask you if we could pay more, and then found out that he thinks it's just a wash, which is great.
Okay.
And we still don't have the total water meter enclosure cost and what difference that will be, but we've decided on big aluminum silver-like enclosures, which I questioned, but Johnny and Nick at Beta both felt that, and I agreed with them once they pointed this out, that they'll just match all the silver stainless on our pedestrian railings, and that probably is a really good solution. So we're going to have these big silver things, and none of us like how water meter enclosures look, but that's just how it is. Sorry, I just realized I don't need my mask on in here. Okay, so then Mass DOT has asked us for a right-of-way for the development of Route 79, and I am sending it to Beta for them to look at exactly what the plan is and how it affects us. We assume we have to agree to it. It's just a temporary right-of-way during their construction. But I think there probably are some long-term implications of how their pedestrian walkway intersects with the new driveway that we're putting in. But I'm finding the plans very difficult to understand. They're in code. The right-of-way woman walked me through some of the code, and we'll have Beta help us understand it, and then I think Ken, John, and I, and Johnny, you may want to be in on it. We'll just make sure that we think it all makes sense and don't want to negotiate it. And I can bring it back to the next board meeting.
So is it a drawing or something?
Yeah, there are 3 plans. She originally sent me plans for a different part of Route 79, and so I was totally confused. And then she sent me plans that show our property boundaries, but they're, and it looks like they're doing work on the property that we own along Duval Street that's next to the pier going north toward Point Gloria. So work is being done along there and then along the part of the pier that we're working on. But what exactly that work is confusing, and I asked her to give us a narrative. And she said, no, we don't give you a narrative. You just have to look at the plan. And so I said, you're really not going to give us a narrative for the document we're signing? She said, oh, no. And the plans are, like R&D stands for remove and discard. How would I know that? And I said, well, wait, she kept saying, it says remove and discard. Can't you see that? And I said, you mean, well, it says R&D. She said, yeah, remove and discard. So,
Do we know what the purpose is of this right-of-way?
These
Oh,
are all,
yeah,
these are
it's-
all temporary construction easements along
Right.
the
They're-
outer
they're-
bounds of the highway.
It's for the bike and walk, it's for the bike path and the walking areas.
I think owners up and down Duval Street are
Everybody's
getting
getting-
these
Yes,
notices.
everybody's getting them.
It's while during construction, they're gonna be right on
Did
the
they
edge of
mention
the
any,
right of way.
the question is, did they give you any compensation?
That was my
Yeah.
next question.
no, we haven't even gotten there.
Because I think they may be
No.
offering compensation to others.
Yeah, and we'd have to look and make sure, there's the temporary construction easements, and then sometimes they take permanent easements. I assume these are temporary.
These are just temporary, she
Yeah,
said.
right.
But I really want some narrative in there that explains what it is we're agreeing to.
Yeah, I think
because-
if Beta can give us just an overview of what it is, that way
Yeah.
we know what we're agreeing to, because those easements could be in place for years.
Well,
I mean, that construction project could be
It's
going on.
been
It should be done by
Actually-
2026.
Okay.
Yeah.
but I asked her to define what time period they would be working on our property. And she just keeps saying, well, Route 79 is going to be wonderful. And I said, oh, no doubt. I totally agree. It's just, I need to understand this legal document. So, so we just need to do some work to understand it. And it was really a bit humorous. So I assume that it isn't the whole period until 2026, but it's possible.
Sometimes they do those, when they lay out highways and stuff, they do those easements and they just leave them in place until the project's completed.
Right.
Even if they're not using it, they
Yeah.
just have it there, so. Because don't forget, the shoulder of that has to then blend into our property. They're gonna be doing work right on the edge of the road, so.
Right.
Some of this is just their workers have to step onto our
Yeah.
land. They have to, it really, I mean,
it's
sometimes
in the
they're,
sidewalk area.
sometimes they're no big deal, sometimes sometimes they wanna park equipment on your land. I mean, we really need to know what they're asking for
Right.
things.
It looks as though there are going to be hay bales to protect against erosion, and, you know, there are a variety of things that looks like they're putting on our land, but I'm not sure any of them are problematic. We just need to understand.
So they're gonna get you drawings then? They're gonna get you drawings?
Well, we have drawings.
already have.
I'm just
Beta's gonna
saying
interpret them
that
for us.
we need Beta to help us understand them.
Okay.
Right, and what's the cost gonna be for Beta? That goes back to the compensation issue. If we're gonna incur costs to deal with this.
Yeah, I don't know what's being offered for compensation. That may be a question you want to ask them.
Yeah.
I think all we're looking from Beta is just an interpretation of the plans to show exactly.
A quick review.
Yeah, quick review, show what's there.
Right.
But it could be $1,200, it could be $1,500 for that
Right.
with it, so. It could be
Yeah.
$500, I don't know. Depends how much, you know, by the time they put the color in it and have 3 people look at it and sign off on it, like, could be
Type it up.
So that's it on the city pier, then, do you want to talk about the Bank Street Armory, Sarah? Latest on the...
So John and I are waiting for the attorney to get back to us with a new version of the land disposition agreement. John had crafted one. Brian Tebow and his attorney reviewed it. We had a call, and they were going to incorporate their changes into it and send it back. And
I have not received it yet.
no, I figured I should give him a call. So that's that. We're putting together for our Pleasant Street urban renewal and revitalization plan. We're putting together a committee. The mayor picked a number of people. We then added some other people, and I'm still finishing, trying to reach some people, but a number of people have agreed to serve, and I'm feeling really enthusiastic that we're getting, you know, people to join. We have our first meeting set up for Thursday, the 10th of February. It's going to be at the Espirito Santo School, which is great. It will be right in the Flint neighborhood. And we need to make it a public meeting, but we don't need to record it. So we're going to let people join through Zoom and have most of it in person. But there are some committee members who want to join by Zoom, and we may or may not open it to the public on Zoom. We still are figuring that out. And the main good news about the TDI district in South Main Street is that Ann Burke is now on board to be our consultant about how to put district management into place. And I set up a meeting for her with the mayor, Ken, I think Mike Dion is joining us, Caitlin and I, to really talk about The concept of district management, which we've talked with the mayor about a couple of times. It's what Viva Fall River is doing some of right now. And Anne has worked with many cities around the state. I know her from Springfield. She helped Springfield and Amherst create bids years ago. They were some of the earlier ones. And so, no, actually Springfield was one of the more recent ones, I guess. But she's just been working with lots of communities, has lots of experience, and is going to help us really, help the TDI group and people in the city really understand our options for how to really get that South Main Street district to be a more vital, clean, friendly, beautiful place. And so that's the goal. Do you want to say anything about Route 79?
So I just got an email earlier today from Valerie.
Hildreth?
Yeah, and so she wants to be meeting with us to discuss, let's see here, hold on real quick. To discuss, the stacking lanes that we talked about and some other issues pertaining to the city. So she's looking for times to meet with the mayor, engineering, redevelopment authority, just to go over where we are with the project. She's looking at Wednesday, February 2nd through Friday the 4th, or the week of the 7th through the 11th. So I'll coordinate those meetings and get everybody scheduled so we can start discussing these things in more detail.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Because we really wanted them to discuss the entrances and exits from the 19 acres and how people are going to enter and exit those parcels onto Route 79, because it's really not clear.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did forget to mention earlier that Joe Marshall, our chairman, could not be with us tonight.
Good point.
I didn't want to forget about it. So the chair makes a finding that an open session would have a detrimental effect on the negotiating position of the public body. We need a vote to approve the December 14th, 2021 executive session.
No, we need a vote to go into
We
executive
need to
session.
need to vote to go into executive session. Do I have a motion?
Yeah, so we need a roll call vote on that, and we're going into executive session for approval of minutes, to review an open meeting law complaint filed by Colin Dias, to discuss real estate transaction on Innovation Way, and to discuss a real estate transaction at 45 Anawan Street. So those are the 4 items under executive session. So the chair made the finding, and now we need a roll call vote to go in for this purpose. And I assume we're not returning to open session?
Right.
No.
So the motion should be to not return to open session.
Okay, and so do I have a motion?
Motion to enter into executive session.
And
I
not to
second.
return to open session.
And not to return, Louis, second. Okay, thank you.
Roll call.
John Erickson, yes?
Joan Maderis, yes.
Louis Gonzalez, yes.
Ann Keen, yes.
Okay. We're good.